Hi everyone and welcome to I think it's my fourth video on my YouTube channel, um, and this is a bit different from what I did in past, but today I came up with this idea to make a video after I found my old notes. I was going through my notes app and then I realized there's a specific folder called archive, and then um, I went to search for my old things, and then I found one very interesting note from when I was 15 years old. So that was 6 years ago. 6 years ago, right? And then I was surprised by that because I wrote that during COVID, and I never thought about it again ever in my life. And it's very interesting because I told myself that I will answer on those questions when I'm 18 years old, which I didn't. I'm 21 years old and I still didn't answer on those questions. And they were like very existential questions about my future, which I went through this morning. And then I said to myself, okay, you have to go and you have to make a YouTube video about this. I can't even remember when I did these questions. I guess I was just sitting in my room during lockdown and just playing games and watching YouTube and being bored. And hey, I'm gonna write some questions and then I'm gonna answer when I'm 18 years old, which I didn't. But now I'm 21 years old, I'm totally bored, and I'll do it. The first question is, have you succeeded in your idea of living in a bigger city? At that time, I was living in my hometown, which is a very small place in a countryside. But the answer is yes. I moved to a bigger city uh, when I was 18 years old to go to uni, and that was one of the best things in my life. One of the best things in my life was actually starting university. That will be it for the first question. Second question is, are you a train driver? When I was 15 years old, I believed I'm going to be a train driver. I don't know, I just felt like I always loved trains, and I still do love trains. And whenever I can choose train as an option, I choose trains. But at that time, I thought I'm gonna be one. I guess the salary was something that I was really into because they had big salaries. But that's it. But I'm not a train driver. I'm far from a train driver. Like, so far. I study political science, so that's not a train driver. Third question is everyone healthy? Wow, so deep. Yeah, actually. I think this question is here because that was during lockdown and everyone's very scared because of COVID. Um, but yeah, everyone's healthy, including myself. Yeah. Fourth question is, how did school go? At that time, I was just starting I was first year of high school. How did school go? Good. I finished my high school, and then, I mean, I have to be honest. I never liked my high school. I always felt alone there, and I never really had friends. I was counting days until I remember that first few months of high school I really hated it, and then I remember having, I think, programming class, and I opened calendar on desktop and I went to 2023 because I started my high school in 2019, and then I went to look when it's gonna be the last day of my high school. So 4 years of high school, I just went to see when it's gonna be the last day. Few first months of my high school, I really didn't like it, and I didn't like people there. We were so different, and just I was never able to find anyone to be friends with. So high school went good when it comes to knowledge, I would say, but when it comes to social perspective, high school was not the best part of my life. Maybe something that I'd like to, sometimes I'd prefer not to talk about. fifth question is, are you still hanging out with, and then specific people? That's a very good question. Um, Three people are on this list. At that time, those three people were my best friends. Of, Out of those three people, I'm good with two people, and I can say that I'm in good relationship with them, of course, and when we see each other, and it's very rare. I really like spending my time with them and just remembering our past and how we what we spoke about when we were younger, our dreams and everything. But I always feel, which is good. I always feel like they know that version of myself, the first version of me, from when I was like 6 or 7. um, when we just started primary school, and then I also know that version of them, and now they're totally different people. They have their lives, interests, and there's a specific bond that I have with them, I would say. And then the sixth question is, what are you like with your high school classmates? I just never clicked with anyone, which is okay because we have different people, different interests, different life paths, everything. It's totally fine. I don't have good memories with them. I can't remember one good memory with those people. Seventh question is, are you dating someone? Yeah. Eighth question is, what is your favorite subject? If this has to do something with high school, because I was supposed to be answering these questions when I was 18, so that would mean that I just finished high school and then I would probably have my favorite subject. Not anymore, but I have my favorite topics I like to discuss about. But if it really is a subject, anything with social sciences, anything with literature or language, I always loved and I always preferred over, for example, math and physics. I was never a fan of that. Ninth question is, are you fit? I wouldn't necessarily say I'm fit, but I feel okay with my body. Because at the time when I was 15 years old, I was really struggling with my looks, and I was very insecure. And then I was really struggling with that. But 6 years later, I can say that I'm happy with my body and how I look and how I treat myself. Now and then there are moments where, but I think it's normal for everyone. We all feel like we can do more or better, or we compare ourselves to other people. But overall, I would say that I'm fit. 10th question is, are you happy? Am I happy? Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy, and I'm very happy. I can't remember the time of my life when I was more happier than now, actually. I'm very happy. Yeah. 11th question is, how tall are you? And then I wrote the note that I was 189 centimeters tall and I had 70 kilos on June 12th of June 2020. I'm 194 now, so that means that I five more centimeters and five more kilos. I have 75 kilos now. So yeah, I don't know why this question, but I mean, sure. 12th question is, do you want to go back to your childhood? Sometimes do wonder, what would younger version of myself think about myself now? And I really think about it. But I do want to go back to my childhood sometimes. For example, when I have memories of playing with my older brother in, like, building snow castles or throwing snowballs at each other, or just playing Minecraft with my sister, or watching a movie with my younger brother, or baking Christmas cookies with my mom. Or I would like to go back sometimes, but not for long. If I could, I would, but not for long. Not for long, because I'm very happy where I'm now. 13th question is, what is bothering you the most? And also I have a additional note. It says that in 2020, at that time in June, my biggest worry and something that was bothering was school. Um, Now, university is not something that's bothering me. This is going pretty well. What is bothering me right now is that what comes after university. And I feel like I'm not the only one. I feel like that's everyone who is studying at university or just finishing any kind of course or something. Um, what happens after? You have to find a real job. That scares me sometimes when I think about it. 14th question is, do you want to change? Wow. I can't believe I was 15 years old and asking these questions. Do you want change? Yes, I do. Like always. I believe change in life is so important. Evolving yourself, having newer versions of yourself, just this, like, discovering yourself. If you don't work on change every now and then, you'll be stuck, which some people maybe are okay with. And I also feel like wherever I go, whichever city I visit or country, or whenever I meet someone new, I always discover a new version of myself. Something unlocks. And at that time when I was 15 years old, I feel like I was very scared of change. Because being in a small town, countryside, not having friends, was not the easiest thing ever. And then thinking about change maybe made me afraid. But then as I was growing up, especially when I left that town, I began to feel more, I just started to be fearless. And I do believe fearlessness, not recklessness, but fearlessness is a key to change. But I really do believe if you're staying true to yourself and if you're introducing your true self to people, if you're not hiding who you really are, you will find change. Actually, that's the whole point, right? That's the key word. Yeah. This is getting so deep. This is getting so deep, but the point of the video is to get deep. So that was the last question, actually, the 14th question, and then I wrote myself few advices for future. Actually, quotes. I said be good and good will come back to you. I also said be persistent, and then I said love yourself. Love yourself. Yeah. And I also wrote that on 12th of June 2020 in my sister's room. Yeah. Wow. I can't remember myself being 15 years old, looking totally different, and just always dreaming about future, dreaming about how I want to go to university, how I want to do exchange, how I want to travel, how I want to meet different people, how I want to change myself. And then here I am. All those things, check marks, and more to come. So thank you so much. I hope this video is not too long, and I hope this video will see the light, go out, be on YouTube, because if I'm gonna be cringing myself while watching this, I'll probably not publish it. But if you are watching this now, then it's out, and I just decided to not care, because to be cringe is to be free. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy this video, and this could be idea for everyone to do this. Maybe no matter what age you are, you can set the goal to answer your questions when you're like going to be 5 or 10 more years older or whatever. I'll definitely do this again. Maybe even now I'll write similar questions to this, probably different. Like, are you married in 10 years? Or like 15? Do you have kids? Like, did you finish university? Which I hope. Those kind of questions are about to be there. It's time, slowly time. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day. Stay beautiful.